Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you're interested in listening to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. And if you're looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today we are doing chapter 9 of The World which is the start of part 2 of the story. Hello? Still no answer. The light's still strong, so I'm under an hour of walking in the darkness. The class is still there, so I haven't walked by them so much I've stepped out of range. But I have no idea if I'm getting closer. All I have to go on, really, is that they are inside the ruin. Well, I hope they are. They could be somewhere outside, but it feels like I'd be skirting. It feels like I'd be skirting the range then, and I'd have stepped out. The plan is simple. Keep going until the light dies. Then find a spot to sleep. It'll hopefully be daytime again when I wake up, and go from hole to hole in the ceiling until I've worked out where they are, or the class disappears and I can't find it again, which should mean they've left on their own. The ground opens up before me, and I look down into the darkness. Could they be under me? That would be problematic. How many levels? Does the class come with an auto mapping ability? It gave me the skills, so maybe not. Hey, system, when do I get an auto mapping ability? No response. I'll at least know the answer to that question once I look over my class abilities. I walk around the hole, and the next one I come across is in the ceiling. Stars and a waning moon, and a waning crescent moon. The sky is the only thing my dad enjoys. He grew up on a farm, so it was something he got to watch a lot, and even then, the cities were close enough to encroach. Now, even in court, the nights are dark. Base doesn't believe in wasting power for sleeping people, and the town itself has to use oil or magic for its light, neither of which are cheap. At the next intersection, I make a right, and a while later, the class vanishes from the list. The light is fading now, so I'm close to 2 hours of exploring. Just how much of the place have I explored at this point? Darlington Nuclear Power Station ruin, 33% explored. Okay, that's nice. If I've explored all that, how about you give me a map of it? And nothing. The class returns within 2 steps. Returns to the list. Within 2 steps. And I continue in that direction when I reach the intersection. When the light is low enough I have difficulty making out more than a few steps ahead of me, I know it's time to look for a place to... Is that light further ahead? It's not daylight, it's still full dark outside, and it's green instead of, well, sun-colored. The chemical light dies before I reach it, but I can tell it's coming from an opening in the wall now, and it's slower. When I reach it, all that's left of the door are crooked hinges. Inside are untrustworthy metal stairs going down, and the light is stronger and much greener. Also moves slightly. Hello? I call again. Light would be what I'd go for if I was hurt. The stairs creak when I put a foot on it. I look next to it. That's what, 3 meters to the floor? I can drop it without killing myself, right? If I get hurt, I have healing bars left. Bars I should keep for the trek back home. Even during the day, the forest can't be a safe place to be. Can't be a safe place. I straighten and look to the left. Thoughts of home pull me in that direction with a certainty that's uncomfortable. How much of court have I explored? I asked the system. Town of Court, 87% explored. That must be what it meant by the more I explore a location, the more precise my sense of where it is will be. It's comforting to know I don't have any chance of missing it once I head home, just because I'm not where I thought I was in relation to it. Doesn't matter if I don't know where north is anymore. I know where home is. I put more of my weight on the stairs and they creak louder, but they don't break. Stepping as lightly as I can, I hurry down and catch my breath once I'm on solid ground. Again. Once I'm on solid ground again, I chuckle. That was as scary as being pushed into the hole by Rich. I straighten. But it was my choice. I grin and look up the stairs. I'm going to have to go up them to get out of here. I just know it. Are they going to break then? The idea they can is scary, but it's also exciting. Oh, Dad would not be okay with me contemplating this. But once I found whoever once but after I've found whoever else is down here. The room is vast in all directions, and the light comes from further ahead, comes from and the light comes from beyond a railing further before me. Further before me, shining onto a ceiling of broken things with ripples. I step to the railing and look over it in the process of testing how solid it is and freeze. The water's so clear I can see the green glow coming from the circles on the floor and that they are raised slightly. The color reminds me of the chemical light, only more intense, much more green and bright. It's magical in how beautiful it is. I step away. Yeah, it's probably magical, period. And that doesn't mean it's good for me. I look around. Magic in the wild has a tendency to attract creatures that feed off it, as well as anyone not smart enough to stay away. Anyone like some kid who got conned into following a mostly stranger into the forest, as well as I realize I see the form stretched on the floor further in. Anyone else who might come in, come here. I realize as I see the form stretch on the floor further in, anyone else who might come here. Hey, I'm here! I run for them. Are you okay? They don't react to my voice, which is a bad sign. They're unconscious, not asleep. I don't bother focusing on them. People are one of the few classes of being that we people are one of the few classes of being we can't that we can't get anything off of with skills. It takes magic or high level abilities. Blood loss is the most likely reason someone makes it down here, stretches, and then loses consciousness. I won't be able to get them to eat, so I'm going to have to make bandages from my shirt and hope my first aid's high enough to I slow as I make you know what? That's a trailing off, not I slow as I make out their features and position. They are stretched on the floor with their hands on their chest and a book under them. They aren't breathing, and their head is a skull. I'm too late. By quite a while, too. The body wears armors in good condition, leathers with buckles. There's a wrap around their midsection with the dark blotches on my side. That would be the fatal injury, I guess. They wear gloves, boots that they wear gloves and boots. And boots that match their armor. I approach cautiously. The undead aren't something that occurs naturally, or so the old folks tell us, but I'm next to water with glowing stuff at the bottom. I don't think that was natural even before the system showed up. I, then I breathe easier. If this was a monster, just looking at it would have told me that. I focus on the body. Aaron Centino, class Explorer, dead. Well, that confirms it. Not a threat, although I didn't know the dead lost whatever keeps us from doing this to the living. I crouch next to him. Hi, Aaron. I'm Dennis. There should be two N's in here. Somehow you being here gave me access to your class. I hesitate. I hope you don't mind, but I'm hoping the reason you're down here is in that book. I'd rather not go through your inventory right now. It feels disrespectful. There's no resistance when I move the hand off the book. The cover is leather, engraved with symbols that are meaningless to me. The corner are metal. The corners are metal, a way to protect them, but also something that isn't cheap. I wouldn't leave it in the open like this unless I wanted someone to pay attention to it. Okay, I guess you want me to look at it. First things first, I focus on it. Aaron's never-ending journal. This is the journal where Aaron Santino recorded his notes while exploring. Perception check failed. All right. Other than the never-ending part of the name seems ordinary enough, I pick it up. Aaron's never-ending journal. This item can be bound. Do you wish to bind this item? Yes. No. Notice. Prerequisite for binding not met. Accept the quest, Aaron's last will and testament, to be able to bind this item. And you're trying to give me a heart attack. Pop-up have to come with a warning before they just show up like this. No quest message, so I guess I'm not binding it. Not sure I want to anyway. It's his journal, not mine. I open it and only the cover responds. The rest of the book is one block, as if someone dumped glue in it. Must be some sort of lock. Oh, must be some way to lock away private stuff. There's writing on the first page at least, in small, immaculate handwriting. Okay, let's start with the important stuff. You screwed up. I have no doubt you tracked me down and that you're reading this right now, but the joke's on you. That stab didn't kill me, and while I'm sure the poison that came with it will, since none of my healing potions got rid of it, I made it as far as my ability let me. So I hope you had the most entertaining trip getting here, and now you can go away. My journal is locked behind a quest that I've set it so you or nor anyone working with you can gain. Ain't it fun what the system will let someone who knows stuff do? Anyway, go away. You fucked up. I'm dead, and what you're after is forever out of your reach. For anyone else, read on. My name is Aaron Santino. I'm an explorer. That's kind of it, really. I was born a few years after the system arrived and always wanted to see what was out there. I saw a lot of amazing things I documented in my journal as well as places you should probably stay away from. Lots of dangerous places in this new world of ours, but those tend to be the most fun to explore. So, you've noticed the journal's bricked, old term from before the system. It's got something to do with phones and how they could be rendered as useful as a brick. Right now, this page is all you can read. It's going to remain this way unless you accept my quest. It's coming. I've said it so you could read all this before being bothered with it. Once you do so, if you're able to, I know. Once you do so, if you're able to, I know you're going to try anything you can think of to get access to the information. Screw off. I outsmarted you this time. Anyway, if you know what? I'm going to remove this because that implies they've had multiple encounters, and it would be hard for me to justify Aaron not knowing the name of the person who did this to him after multiple encounters. Anyway, if you accept the quest, the first quarter of the journal will unbrick. I've moved all the maps there to help you navigate. The one relating to the quest will be the first one. The others will lead you to various ruins I've discovered over the years. But no notes. Sorry. I had to make hard decisions to protect the information in here, and that's one of them. Anyway, I doubt those will interest you, or whoever accepts the quest. Us explorers are a rare breed in the grand scheme of things. So, the quest. It's simple, really. I need you to deliver a letter to my wife. I'll be among the map pages. I didn't seal it since there's no way for me to keep you from opening it with the means I have access to in this place and in the time I have left. I just ask that you respect my privacy, and if it's you think I'm stupid enough to put anything about what you're looking for in a letter to my wife? She's a herbalist. She's an herbalist, and you know that already. Other than my stories and the few things I brought her, she's never cared about this beautiful, wide world of ours. Kansas City has always been enough of the world for her. So, My quest is for you to deliver my letter to her in Kansas City. It's possible it took so long for anyone to find my body, she's dead, then hand it to my daughter or one of her children. Anyone of my bloodline will do. Your reward. Well, I have 2 ability point I've yet to assign, so that's yours, as well as the 24,000 experience I've accumulated since gaining my last level. That's yours too. I don't need that. I'd give you more, but it turns out the system considers anything before that level used up. What else? 4 skill points and 2 spell points. Never been one for magic. The traveling I could do with my abilities was always enough. Maybe they'll serve you better. I'd give you more, but anything else will be useful to you. Will be more useful to you as you accomplish. As you will be more useful to you to accomplish the quest than after. Than after. Than after. So, all my possessions are yours should you want them. The one thing I ask is that you not sell my ring. I do think it's going to help you, but if not, I'd like my family to have it. If she's old enough, my daughter might demand my sword, but I'm really hoping she's also old enough to have equipment of her own by then. Things of interest you'll find on me are my sword. It's enchanted, nothing grand, but still useful. My armor is an excellent quality, so if you take care of it, it'll see you through most problems of the combat kind. The ring, as I said, can be of use. I've almost $10,000 on me as I write this, but no way to know if he took it. I wouldn't surprise it. I wouldn't put that past his petty self just to screw with the help you might render me. If it's gone, I'm sorry. You'll have to sell my stuff, which you probably don't need anyway. It's highly explorer centric after all. So, that's about it. Thank you ahead of time for either taking the letter to my wife or handing this to someone who will. I hope the system is always in your favor. You have been offered a quest by Aaron Santino, Aaron's last will and testament. Aaron asks that you deliver a private letter to his wife in Kansas City. Reward. On accepting the quest, partial unlock of Aaron's never-ending journal. Gain the ability to bind Aaron's never-ending journal to yourself. On completion of quest, 26,324 experience, 2 ability points, 4 skill points, and 2 spell points. Consequence of refusal or failure, none. Do you accept the quest? Yes, no. I sit and think about it. I mean, I really think about it. This isn't the kind of thing I can just accept or refuse and not think about it anymore. Maybe this isn't something that's life-changing for most people, but for me, if I accept it, it means leaving court. Not forever, obviously, but I don't know where Kansas City is. I've never heard of it before, so it can't be anywhere near. I mean, I've heard about Albany, and that's weeks away on the other side of the St. Lawrence River. The problem is that I don't know anyone I'm sure will deliver it if I give it to them. Oh, there's Chuck's Caravan, so plenty of people will go on to further places, but I don't know any of them. If I got Chuck's to say yes, he'd do it. That knows him, and while he doesn't quite like him, he always said he's a man of his word. But if there's one thing I know about Chuck is that he doesn't venture beyond Toronto anymore. So he'd have to pass the journal to someone else, and I do know how. How do I know they'll deliver it? Okay, so I have to be the one to do it. It's the only way to be sure the letter makes it to its destination. But it's not like I have to leave right now with it. I know it's skirting what Aaron wants, but he said that it doesn't have to be exclusively to his wife. So if I stay in court for a few years, become a guard long enough to make my dad happy, okay, become a craftsman of some sorts for a few years. Then, once I'm in my mid-20s and I've demonstrated that I'm a responsible adult, I can leave on this quest. Yeah, yep, that's what I'll do. I accept the quest. You have accepted Aaron's last will and testament. Do you wish to bind Aaron's never-ending journal to yourself? Yes, no. Yes. No matter what happens, no. Yes. No. No matter what happens, now. Okay, yep. Now, no matter what happens, no one can take this from me. It shimmers in my hand and I feel some of the pages come loose. Like the details of my class studying this will wait until I'm home. I do. I go to send it to my inventory and realize I have a problem. If it takes up the inventory spot using the last chemical light freed. Now I look at what Aaron's wearing. Just how am I going to carry all of this? I smile. Well, the same way he did. I'm going to wear it. And that concludes chapter 9 of The World Which Is. If you're enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next one's going to be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read the story, it is available on Royal Road. And if you want to read ahead of what's on Royal Road, you can support me on my Patreon. There should be 8 chapters or so ahead. Yep. And if you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. The links are in the notes. And with that, I shall wish you a good day.